Hi, my name is Jeremy Murphy, and today I'm going to demonstrate a collaborative learning technique called Think, Pair, Share. This strategy helps adult learners become more engaged, more reflective, and more comfortable participating in group discussions. Think, Pair, Share has three simple steps. First, participants think on their own about a question or a problem. Second, they pair with another person to discuss their ideas back and forth. And third, they share key thoughts with the larger group after they've had their discussion amongst themselves. This technique works well because it gives every participant time to process before speaking. It also prevents one or two people from dominating the conversation because everyone has a role in the activity. Here's how I would set that up. In a session on building high performance teams, I might ask, what is one characteristic every successful team must have? At this point, I would give the participants some time to think silently on their own, maybe ask them to write down their answers. And then I would ask the participants to turn to a partner or maybe a few partners if it's a larger group and discuss their responses. For example, one participant might have accountability as the most important characteristic, while another participant might say that communication is the more important characteristic. Uh, Finally, I would bring the group back together and ask a few pairs to share one key idea that they discussed. The reason that I like this technique more than other techniques, or I use this technique more often than other techniques, is because I feel as if you get a larger picture or a broader lens when you use this technique in a group. In adult learning, most people don't feel comfortable, talking out loud about their ideas. And what this does and why it's so powerful is it gives them the ability to explore what they're thinking with a smaller group, which is less fearful. And then what they also get to do that I think is great about it is you get to use the feedback from the people that you're interacting with to kind of validate your ideas or your thoughts. I think that's a very important piece of this technique is the fact that you get a chance to say communication is what I think, and then you get some feedback from a person in a small setting where they're like, yeah, I think communication is excellent, but have you thought about accountability, because that may be something that's important, and then they can use that back and forth to gain confidence and assurance that what they're thinking is similar to what other people are thinking, or they can broaden their view based on what other people are bringing, the information that other people are bringing to the table. So I think that this technique is something that I use, and I really like this technique because once you get the small pieces of every individual's thoughts and you organize them in their small groups, then we get to use that to express those thoughts to the larger group, which just magnifies the ability to have a broader scope. And I think that's so very important. And this connects to collaborative learning because participants are not just learning passively, they're thinking, they're talking, they're comparing ideas, they're learning from one another. All the things that I just said are so important to get the most out of the session. And then I want to express how simple the idea is. I mean, it seems very simple that you just think about a situation, then you interact with a few people in a small group, and then you bring those things together and you share them. It's a very simple thing. It doesn't have a lot of complication to it, but it's also very powerful in itself. So I just believe that I believe a lot in this technique. I like getting the thoughts and the ideas from others to help broaden my perspective. In my personal journey as a business owner for the last 25 years, a lot of the things that I do are on me. It's my thoughts, my decisions, my expectations, and I'm doing a lot of things internal. Like I've got to kind of trust myself, and I've got to try to figure out solutions on my own. And in the education world, since I've been in, pursuing masters, pursuing doctoral, I've had the benefit of being able to have interaction with students and with instructors and getting a broader picture on all the things that I thought I knew or that I thought I had under control. And then I get another perspective, and it helps me grow as a leader so that I can be more complete for the people who I lead. So in in this scenario, it's been very eye-opening to me to see how powerful small tools, or simple tools, I wouldn't say small, simple tools like Think, Pair, Share become such a powerful agent for your growth and your development and your completeness as a leader, especially of adults. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. Again, I think Pair, Share is a great example, and you should try it.